Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is October 29th, 2021. And today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the markets start rotation again. That means there's a bit of a sell-off. We're going to take a look at the individual sectors. But first, no major economic events scheduled for today. So as we look at the various markets, the Forex symbols, the major pairs pretty much breaking down versus the US dollar. As we're looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both bounce, but showing tremendous weakness. Now looking at the commodities, gold showing weakness at that 1740 level, and oil retracing from its new record highs. Now looking at the stocks, weakness across the board when we look at the individual stocks. And lastly, Bitcoin continues to trade in a range, and now it's on the bottom of the range. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So this is really important because we're looking at a daily chart of the Euro USD. You can see it's falling apart to 1660-ish level. Now, if it does break this level, okay, we're looking at a daily chart. That's an important time frame because it's a multiple time frame. And this is even where scalpers want to look at these type of time frames, because this is hitting a level that we haven't seen since August. And before that, we haven't seen it since September of last year. Excuse me, so this is a really important level for it to hit. Now, if it does break this 16-ish level, 1640, we could see ourselves back in the 112-ish area, which would be very weak for the euro. Now, looking at the Aussie USD, also trading as it's getting farther down. The GBP really breaking down here at that 136, breaking that support. And so that's really important because looking at a weekly chart, the next place we can go down to is 133 as well here. So that's really important as well. Now, looking at gold. Gold's been trading between the 1740 and 1830-ish level, but it looks like it's breaking down, and it continues to break down. Now, these bounces that it's getting smaller bounces, okay? So I would anticipate somewhat of a smaller bounce and then a continued sell-off if it's going to still maintain this downwards trend line, where you could almost use this 8-day moving average as a resistance-ish area. Okay, that would be where I'd be looking to short it at 1749-ish level. Even if I get that, I don't think we will, in the anticipation it's going to continue breaking down. Now looking at oil, retracing here from 75 down to 74.25. Not a big retracement, but enough to really give us a little bit of a, hey, what's going on here? Okay, especially when it's hitting that 30-day moving average, possibly using it as a support level. Now jumping into the indices, we're looking at the Dow Jones here, trading at 34,387. A nice little bounce from our 34,000 low, but couldn't hold its 34,800-ish level from the previous day. Okay, so that's really important. Now looking at the NASDAQ as well, really breaking down here. Let's look at a daily. That's an important sell-off. That means that that sell-off is bona fide with major components selling off. Now, if we look at the major stocks, like Apple sold off tremendously, Microsoft also 282. That's a big retracement. Remember, Microsoft was the strongest one. If you look at Facebook as well, 338, and that is how weak the market is. Okay, so the tech stocks are not holding us up. Now, if we look at the big board stocks like Alcoa, still relatively strong, and JP Morgan, relatively strong, 167 on its high. So that's a relatively strong market. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, we're at that bottom of the range at 41,000, okay, but the range is getting a little bit tighter, and that's usually a sign that there's going to be some sort of a breakout, either on the upside or the downside. Okay, so lots unfolding here. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.